Welcome to Harv's World for episode 6 of the Pacific Northwest. So, we are at 226,828. As you saw, I picked up a couple extra small harvesting contracts last night before bedtime and uh, made about another 30,000 or so off of those two. Not a lot, but it was enough to push us up to 226,828. Now, getting started this morning, I've already been at it for about 45 minutes. The horses are taken care of, and you can see that our canola fields, we've got two of them, field 22 and field 11, are growing nicely. However, they are at a point where they need a second coat of fertilizer before they grow up. So that's going to be our first chore this morning. And I've got the obviously the tractor and fertilizer spreader all set up and pretty much ready to go. And I think when we're done with the spraying, we're going to look at maybe picking up another field. I've got one in mind. I've pointed it out before. There's one drawback to it, however. It could just end up benefiting us to some degree. Not financially per se, but, well, we'll take a look. For now, I'm going to get these fields sprayed, and then we also need to look at picking up our next batch of horses. We're going to pick up 4 more horses today. That's going to be a $20,000 outlay also, which is fine. They're going to pay for themselves in the long run, but we'll need to get those in the corral, get them fed up and watered. That will come just a little bit later. But for now, let me get this spraying done. So that takes care of the spraying on both field 22 and field 11. And since we're up here, I thought I would point out that I think we're just going to pick up this field right here. It's close by, and it would do us well at some point in the future. We could probably merge these fields, not for now because we've got trees growing, and if we look at this, we can see that field 10, this is field 10, it would be just about the same size as 22 right now. But look at the size we could get out of this field if we merged it all together. So I think that might be a future plan. But for now, let's go ahead and pick this up. It's $150,000. That's well within our budget. Now, one drawback is that we got a whole bunch of sugar beets. And they are definitely ready to be harvested. Let's take a look. Yeah, remove tops, they're ready to be harvested. But we are not going to do that because there aren't enough sugar beets there to pay for the sugar beet harvester that would be required to pull them out of the ground. We're just going to plow them up. Now what that should do for us is it should provide us with a fertilized state. It should give us our first level of fertilizer after they've been plowed in. Keep your fingers crossed. And we will find out for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this sprayer up. It's getting pretty low. See how much fertilizer we have left. We're good. We still have some left in that tank, so not going to worry about it for the moment. I don't remember exactly how many horsepower this plow requires. I could look it up, but I'm just going to grab the case here and get over there to field 10 and start working on it. I did say that it needed lime also, so we're in for a lime run here as well. We want to make sure that we can get the maximum productivity out of our land. This is available to us, which is why we spend money on things like fertilizer and lime and all of that other happy horse stuff. Now, one other thing we need to get done today, this grass field is ready to be harvested again. We've got hay, we've got straw. One thing that we do not have is silage. And when we mow this grass field this time around, we've got a nice bit of grass here too that we can take advantage of. We'll turn that into silage, absolutely, without a doubt. But for the moment, let's find out exactly what these beets are going to do for us. So if we look at this as we're going across it, we need to turn off the need lime, and yeah, we've got a double fertilized state there. So this is going to be a fully fertilized field just ready to be planted. And I guess I should focus on driving and less on looking at the map, but still, I could have just come back for that, but I do get a little anal retentive on things like this sometimes, so I will go back and pick up little bits of junk here and there just because otherwise it's probably going to make me a little bit crazy, even though I am a little bit crazy. Now we're well under 100,000 at this point. We still need to buy 4 horses. That's going to post down to about 56. That's not too bad. I'm not seeing any equipment that we absolutely have to have at the moment. We are going to have some leasing costs, however. Because like I said, I do want to get that grass mowed and turned into silage bales. Now if we do end up mowing all of this up here, we could have enough silage bales that we could probably sell some of those. We might just have to look into that. We do have the new flatbed trailer. It's not necessarily a bale trailer, but we can haul bales on it if we need to. With a little luck, maybe we will. Now, I think when we get ready to do these silage bales, I'm gonna see if I can do another multiple mower swath setup so that we don't have to do anything extra like windrowing. I'm pretty sure there's a mower out there that will automatically make windrows for us as we mow, and then maybe we can just slap the baler right on the back. And I'm pretty sure there's a baler that's also a wrapper. So we'll take a look at that and see. Now, the real issue at this point is that it's got to be a square baler because we have a square bale storage area and not a round bale storage area. And it's going to rain in the not too distant future, you can see. There we go. One perfectly plowed field. And let's just double check and make sure. Yep, everything's covered. It is ready to be seeded up. But first I do want to get a batch of lime on there. We are going to focus on that next. I don't know if you can see these, but so far our trees aren't doing much. They've maybe grown a smidge, but it's a little better. Hopefully they will get their butts in gear and start growing up here so we can harvest some lumber. I'm just going to cut across this grass field. Now, one other thing that I've done, well, we had a little money in our pockets anyway, I realized that a lot of our equipment was really getting dirty, so right over here by the toolbox we now have a pressure washer. So I can repair this up, make sure it's in prime operating condition, and then we can just grab our pressure washer and get it all cleaned up, especially the plow. I think I've done that tractor recently, last night before I called it a night. Yeah, that was really dirty. There we go. Let's put this right back in here. Grab the lime spreader, which at some time in the future this might just become our fertilizer spreader too. I realized that dry fertilizer is much cheaper than liquid fertilizer, and frankly we need to cut costs wherever we can to turn as much profit as we can. I really like the look of this field here on our left. Now that's over 300,000, but that might be something we'll consider in the future. Now this patch on the right, this long skinny field here, and I'm pretty sure this one coming up also, this is all one big long plot of land. And that's pretty tempting. And the price is pretty right on that too. It's less than the big field on the left. So those are things we're going to be wanting to consider as far as expansion goes. We'll buy up our lime. As I recall, this was less than 1,500 when we were completely full, so yeah, 1,200, that's not too shabby. drop off this front loader too. No sense in lugging it around all of the time. And then once this worker starts seeding, I am going to look at that mowing and baling equipment. I really wish that there was a baler, a round baler that operated the same way the square balers do, where it can be building a new bale and while it's dropping the first one, you know, where it can just continually operate, where you don't have to stop and unload it all the time. Okay, wheat, there we go. Okay, so let's see what our options are here. Now, as mowers go, because we're going to need to mow, there is, yeah, the Nova Cat 301 Varia. Now this, it has a little marker here, and this marker determines how wide of a swath you end up with. So if we set it to real narrow, we should be able to pull a baler right behind us and just pick up as we go. Now that's going to be, that's not even $1,000 to lease, so let's go ahead and just grab that. Now the real question is balers again. And yeah, this was, no, this is not the baler I was thinking. Yes, it is. But I'm absolutely sure that's a round baler. Is it? Yep, I'm sure it is. And I can't afford to be wrong, so do we have other alternatives? What does that do for us? That looks like a round bale wrapper also, so that's not going to be very helpful. This Ursus is round bales. It looks like we're going to have to lease a separate bale wrapper. That's fine. We'll do what we have to do to get the job done. That was, no, 105, 104. This John Deere baler is interesting because it's only 12,000. It creates 4,000 liter bales, and they're definitely square. Let's give that a shot. Now, at 12,000, I'm considering just buying it, but I'd like to try it out first, so we're going to go ahead and lease that up. And that should, yep, we got the mower and the baler, so that's what we're going to stick with for now. I am going to run down to the store and pick these up, and I will see you back here. Okay, so as you can see, I have got the baler, I've got the mower, and we are back at the farm. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is unfold this mower. And I'm not sure what the control is for the swathing. There we go. So I am going to, and you can see that moving right there. Now I'm going to narrow that all the way down so we've got a nice swath. Turn the mower on. Drop it down. We will unfold the baler. Oh, there we go. Fire it up. Drop it down. And let's see how this is going to work out for us. We had good luck with the tedding. And that's working like a charm. Look at that. Not a blade of grass left on the ground. Okay, so that takes care of the baling. I've done a lot of mowing and we have got an awful lot of bales, which is a good thing. Now, bale wrapping, one of the reasons that I wanted to see if we couldn't just do it as we went was because it's a very time-consuming and tedious job. Very repetitive. You're just always waiting on the wrapper to finish up. And there's nothing you can do. Nothing you can do until it's done. Except move on to your next bale, which is, 10 feet away, 20 feet away. 10 yards away maybe if you're really spread out. Like so. It's already getting late in the day. It's 3:16 and we still need to get new horses in. And our new wheat field has already started to grow. I'm not going to complain about that either. Now, we could get really bottled up here at the end of the day, because if this canola comes in and is ready to harvest, well, we can't exactly spend a lot of time waiting around for that to take place. I mean, harvest needs to happen ASAP. I realize we do have some time, but I'm anticipating probably canola, and by that point the wheat also is going to be ready, and we'll end up harvesting all of that first thing tomorrow morning. Just based on the time of day it is right now. So what I've done is I finished up wrapping the bales and decided I needed a little something extra because we've got a lot of bales to move. So I ran down to the store and picked up this bale handler, these bale forks. Hopefully they are going to help get this job taken care of, stacking these on this trailer. I pulled the trailer up into the field as well. For now, it's going to be all about gathering these up and getting them ready to go. Now again, I'm going to try to keep about 20 in our silo, or in our barn I should say, and the rest we're going to sell and hopefully make some cash. So let's see how this thing is going to work out for us. I shouldn't have to clamp it until I get a few stacked up. Not to get into that field too much. Okay. And it looks like this will handle 4 at a time. I don't know if our trailer will. I suppose it won't be for lack of trying. Although I might have to steal the weight off of the yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to steal the weight off of the case, because this little guy just doesn't have the weight. Now I guess I could have put wheel weights on this too, but I think grabbing this weight here is probably going to be the better choice. It's only 1100, but let's hope it's enough. See if we can't get a fourth on here. Yeah, looks like that's just enough of a counterbalance to keep us from going over on our nose, so that's good. Oh man. Okay, today's one of those days I should have just gone right on back to bed. Because this ain't working. And my bales aren't going to do me any good laying like that. You ever one of those days? Everybody has those days. Go back to bed, Harv. Woo! Yep. Definitely need to get some extra shut-eye, I think. Good God. I ran into some technical issues with with the game, and I lost some footage. So I didn't want you to miss out on the sale of the bales. We made just over $28,000 off of selling 20 silage bales, so that was a nice boost in our cash. And you can see right now that I also managed to store 20 bales. So out of that cutting, we got 40 silage bales. That's pretty good, and our barn is looking pretty decent. Not anywhere close to what we're going to need to have a large herd of cattle, but we are on our way. Now our fields are all planted. They should be ready to go pretty soon, especially this canola looking really good. And we know the wheat has already started coming up. That will be for another day. A, because it's raining, and B, because it's not quite ready to harvest yet. But that's neither here nor there. For the time being, even though this is going to be a shortish episode, mostly because I lost all that footage, some of you might be saying, thank God. But seriously, I appreciate you coming along for the ride, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.